Welcome back to our sweet, sweet lesson today. Welcome back, boys and girls. Listen to these words and listen to the sound in the final or last position. Table, bumble, stubble. What sounds do you hear in the final position? Table, bumble, stubble. We hear the bull sound at the end of each of these words. Let's take a look at the words up on the board and see if you can figure out what is making this bull sound. Table, bumble, stubble. What do you see that is making the bull sound in these words? That's right. B-L-E is making the bull sound at the end of each of these words. B-L-E is a final stable syllable. We call it final because it's in the final or last position. It's called stable because it will never change. We can always count on it having the bull sound whenever we see it. And we call it a syllable because it has its own vowel sound. The strange thing about it being a syllable is the fact that we don't see the vowel that makes the sound. The vowel E that we do see doesn't make a sound. It is silent. Because the E's are silent, we're going to cross them out. The vowel sound we hear in the final stable syllable is the schwa sound. This is the sound that you hear between the B and L. Can you hear the sound in bowl, ol, ol? We hear an sound in the middle of it. Where else have we heard a schwa sound? Remember this symbol? This is the symbol for the schwa sound, and we use it when we have the word the and the word We've learned before that we read these words like we say them. It makes us sound like better readers. So we don't say the and we don't say a. We say the and Now let's get back to looking at our words. We always accent the syllable before the final stable syllable. Now, let's finish coding our words like we usually do. Look carefully at our first word and the vowel there. The final stable syllable is separate. It is not part of this syllable. So how do we code the letter A when it's open and accented? We code it with a macron, and it's going to be long. Let's look at our next word. Oh, that's easy. We see a vowel followed by a consonant, so we're going to code it with a breve. And in our last word, we also see a vowel followed by a consonant, so let's also code it with a breve. So we have a new letter card for today. When we see this card, we're going to say final stable syllable, B-L-E. And to help us remember what sound final stable syllable B-L-E makes, we have bubble, bull. And when we're practicing spelling our sounds and I say the bull sound in the final position, we're going to write B-L-E. So when I say bull, you will write and say final stable syllable B-L-E. Good job, boys and girls. Now we're going to practice coding some words up on our board. But before we begin, let's review some of our rules. We have our vowel consonant rule. A vowel followed by a consonant is short, and we code it with a breve. We also have our long vowel rule. An open, accented vowel is long, and we code it with a macron. And we have our vowel consonant E rule. A vowel followed by a consonant and a silent E is long, and we code the vowel with a macron, and we cross out the silent E. Let's begin coding with our first word. Look at our first word. Do you see a vowel? Yes, we do. But hold on a moment. We know this word. This is the word the. Remember, we're going to code that vowel a little differently because when we read, we want to sound like when we talk. And when we talk, we do not use the word the, we say the. So because of that, we're going to put a schwa on top of the E to remind us that this E is going Let's look and see what else we need to code on this word. I also see digraph TH, so let's underline it. And in the word the, digraph TH is making its voice sound. So let's cross it out to remind ourselves that it is making its voiced sound. Let's look at our next word. Do you see a vowel? Yes, we do, and it's followed by a consonant. But hold on a moment. What is that consonant? It's the letter R. So this must be combination IR. I do not need to code the I anymore because it is part of combination IR. Let's look at the next word. Do you see a vowel? Yes, we do. And it's followed by a consonant. A vowel followed by a consonant is short, and we code it with a breve. Let's look at the next word. I also see a vowel followed by a consonant, so I'm going to code it with a breve. Let's look at the next word. I also see a vowel followed by a consonant, so I'm going to code it with a breve. Let's look at our next word. Look at it carefully, that little word there. Normally, I would code a vowel that is not followed by anything with a macron, right? An open, accented vowel is long, and we code it with a macron. However, I know that I'm supposed to read like I talk. And most often, we say for this word instead of saying a. So just like with our E in the word the, I'm going to put a schwa on top of the letter A to remind myself to say Let's look at our last word. Do you see a vowel? Yes, and it's followed by a consonant. A vowel followed by a consonant is short, and we code it with a breve. Do you see anything else in this word? We also see digraph CH. The bird will sit on a branch. So we're going to bracket our final stable syllable, BLE. We know our E is silent in this, and we need to put an accent mark after our first syllable. Now let's code our first syllable. Look for the vowel, and it's followed by a consonant. So we're going to code it with a breve. Now look in the middle of this word. There are two B's. So you would think that it's double consonants, but it's not. The second B is part of final stable syllable BLE, so it is separate. Now let's look at our next word. We have a vowel followed by a consonant, so it's short, and we code it with a breve. In our next word, we have a vowel followed by a consonant, so we're going to also code it with a breve. And our next word, we saw it earlier in this sentence. How are we going to code our vowel? That's right, it's called a schwa. And we're going to draw a line underneath our digraph TH, and we're going to put a voice line through it to remember that it makes the voiced sound. Now let's look at our next word. We have digraph OO, so let's underline that too. And our last word. I think we saw this one earlier in our lesson too. We're going to bracket our final stable syllable, BLE. We know the E is silent, so let's cross it out. And we're going to put an accent mark after the first syllable. Now watch out here. We're going to code our first syllable. How do we code the A? That's right. An open accented vowel is long, and we code it with a macron. The B is now separate. It is part of final stable syllable BLE. So we're only going to look at that first syllable, which is TA. And the A is open and long. Good job, boys and girls. I want you to keep a lookout for those final stable syllables in your reading. Try and see where you can find them, so that way you can start noticing how they affect your reading. We'll see you later. Bye.